Now.
Okay.
Awesome. Hello, how are you, Octavia?
Good, how are you?
Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak a little bit about the overview of this time that we'll have together.
Okay.
So we'll be in this room together for approximately 20 minutes.
Okay.
And during that time, we're going to be engaging in a variety of types of questions. Some of our questions will be open-ended questions, where we're just looking to get more insight about who you are and some of the work experience you've had at this point.
Okay.
And then other questions will be scenario-based questions, where we'll ask you to either talk or guide us through a specific activity or exercise.
Okay. That's good.
Awesome. The last thing is, before interviews, we ask all students to come in with their pre-identified IT track role of interest. Were you able to pre-identify a specific interest?
Yes.
And what's that?
PC, project coordination.
Perfect. So we just ask, as we're engaging in some of these questions, to come focused and grounded and thinking through the PC perspective.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay.
All right, let's start it off here. So could you tell me about what you were doing before Year Up, and then how you heard about the program, and then why you decided to join the program?
Absolutely. So before Europe, I was actually working in sales at David's Bridal as a bridal consultant. I was a stylist, so I was helping brides pick their special day dress, as well as their bridesmaids' dresses, helping them if they needed any invitations that we needed to order, because we do offer that service through David's Bridal. And then definitely booking comeback appointments, following up with them, and seeing if there's anything else that we could help them with throughout the planning process. I actually heard about Europe through my fiance who graduated from here. I saw how he excelled through the program and how the program actually helped him grow as a man, and how he became more reliable and he was able to articulate himself a lot better. And so I actually wanted to do the program right after him, but I was like, I'll give it some time, let me see what's good for me, let's see what it has to offer. So I did about 2 information sessions, and then that's when I was like, okay, this is somewhere where I want to be, definitely want to excel in the skills that I've already have, and definitely hone in on my organization skills and time management.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Why do you want to work in the tech field?
Because I like innovation, and I always wanted to be part of that innovation. There's always room for tech to grow, and being a young-minded person who's also open-minded, I feel like I have a lot of ideas that I can contribute to innovation and definitely help move it forward into the future.
So could you please share what you feel was your biggest challenge or growth area while you were going through the learning and development phase?
Most definitely, a challenge for me was definitely coming in with a fixed mindset and changing that into a growth mindset, which I'm proud to say that I have one now. Definitely coming in, was very closed off. I felt like I knew all that I needed to know about tech, but definitely being here, learning from the instructors, seeing that their mindsets were different, made me realize that, okay, having an open mindset in tech is something that is going to be needed. So that's what was a challenge for me that I've almost overcome.
So what steps have you, if looking back on it, what steps do you feel like you've taken to overcome that growth area?
Definitely looking at everything with an open mind, not just saying, oh no, I can't do this, but actually accepting the work and saying, okay, this is a challenge for me. This is something that I really need to study on. This is something that I really need to focus on. So that was some steps that I've taken.
Okay. And then when thinking about moving on to your internship, what plans do you have to ensure that you're going to be converting on that growth area while you're at your internship?
Almost definitely asking questions, definitely meeting with the right people, having lunch and coffee with my colleagues, and talking to my managers and my bosses that are going to be there in the future. Definitely asking them for feedback on not weekly, but maybe bi-weekly. Having a check-in with them, emailing them, see if there's anything that I need to improve on, asking them if there's any task that they need me to do, or if there's anything that they can teach me.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. All right, so project coordination.
Yes.
Explain why you'd be a strong candidate for a project coordination internship.
I feel that I already have organization skills, but I definitely can grow on that more. I definitely enjoy numbers and calculating everything in like an Excel work spreadsheet, and just pushing that organization skill and that time management skill. I love to take on projects and see them flourish into this final amazing thing before you. So it's from start to finish. I like to see how it's processed, how it goes through, the steps that it needs to go through, and then the end result.
All right, thank you.
So I'm gonna give you a scenario-based question.
Okay.
You tell me how you deal with this situation. So if I asked you to schedule and run a weekly 15-minute stand-up check-in meeting with the team so that we can update each other on the projects that we're working on, how would you do that?
Definitely. Depending on the team, if they use Outlook 365, I would definitely set up a calendar request meeting weekly for 15 minutes in the room that's desired for them, and schedule it that way. Make sure that the team member gets it. Have them either reply to me via email saying yes or no, they cannot make it, or just accepting the calendar request.
Great, thank you.
Right. All right, so we're gonna move on to another question here. Tell us about a time when you struggled with reliability,
The time I struggled with reliability.
and how did you overcome that?
I would say a time that I struggled with reliability was when I had a deliverable that needed to be due. I definitely I read the entire deliverable instructions, and I missed one small detail, and that was when an assignment needed to be due Wednesday by 5 p.m. And I just glanced over it. I thought I had enough time to do it, and I realized at the end of the day there was just not enough time. I ended up turning it in 15 minutes late, and that's when I realized that my reliability and my time management was not up to par. And that's what made me realize that I need to read the fine details, look at everything, double check it.
Mhm. And how did you overcome that for like the next project?
By reading the tiny details,
Reading
by
the tiny details.
by paying attention and reading everything thoroughly 3 to 4 times.
Excellent. All right, thank you.
So, another scenario question here. Assume that you're working at a tech company. Your manager asks you to complete a high-profile project, but you have no idea where to start, and you've never even been trained on the project or the material that needs to be used. What would you do in that situation?
I would definitely use escalation protocol, which is definitely go to Google first. If I can't find it on Google, go to a colleague. And if I can't get the answer through a colleague, by then it's time for me to go to my manager and ask the manager for some insights on how I should start this. Not necessarily saying how do I do this, but ask for some tips on how to start the project.
Sounds good, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So this is more of a conceptual question for you.
Okay.
All right. 6 months from now, in a professional environment,
Yes.
what will your colleagues and your bosses say about you? So 6 months from now,
Mm-hmm.
pretend that you're in your professional environment, now you're in your career or your internship. What would your boss and colleagues say about you?
I believe that my boss and my colleagues would say that I was a very reliable person, that I was organized and I did hone in on my organization skills, and that I was a nice person to talk to and to work with, that they could rely on me, and that I was always someone who had an opinion that always voiced their opinion in a good way, that voiced their opinion and always made sure that when a project was due, I'd always stay on top of it. Even if I had multiple tasks, I would always complete it and get it done in a timely manner.
All right, great. Thank you. All right, this concludes the first part of the interview.